Right, everyone at the back ready? Okay. Please, Dan.
Afternoon, Gary.
Hi, Dan.
Happy deadline day.
Thank you. Is it happy?
You tell me. But let's start with some news that was confirmed this morning. Sam Johnston arriving here at Wolves. How happy are you with that?
Yeah, pleased. Really pleased. Good signing, obviously. Gives us real good competition in that area of the pitch. Obviously, Dan and Jose have played games already this season for us, but Sam adds to that group. Adds real quality to that group as well and experience. So, we're really pleased to get that one done.
Expecting him to be in the matchday squad tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll be in the squad tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be involved. Obviously, everything's been done in time and he's settled in fine. So, not like it's a big move from the other side of the world. He's just down the road. So, he's fine. He's ready to go tomorrow.
Talking about someone who could potentially be making a move from the other side of the world, and Andre, I understand he's undergoing his medical. Can you expand on him, and is that very close to being completed? Yeah,
it's close. It is close. I think everything's gone fine. So we'll see. I think there's a few boxes still to tick before he's official, but I don't see there being any issues at this stage. So hopefully hopefully he'll be our player by the end of the day. And then we look forward to getting to work with him.
What do you think he'll have, especially in the midfield, maybe compared to like Mario?
Yeah, no, it's a real strong area of the pitch for us. You know, João, Mario, Tommy as well, Booba, who went off injured the other night. But I spoke a little bit on Wednesday about the window not going how we wanted it to, or sort of how I was told it would, or how we expected it to go. For a variety of reasons, so we've then had to be adaptable in what we could do and what we couldn't do, and it was still important that if good players became available to us, that we were able to add them to the group. So Andre is that excellent talent, and will add to the group. So maybe just falls on me then to be adaptable and try and find a structure. We may take a change of structure to make sure that we fit everybody in.
Just on that point, you're saying that it wasn't the window you expected it to be, or you were told it would be. Can you just expand on that and kind of maybe whether you were frustrated or not, and where you're leaving the window, how you feel?
Yeah, no, I think we, myself and Matt, the moment we left Anfield at the end of last season, we started a plan around how the team was going to play and what it needed to play in that way, in my opinion. And we were very lined up on what we were trying to do. As we progressed through the window, we missed ones that we thought would be able to help us for different reasons. Sometimes financial, sometimes the fact that they'd gone before we were ready to do it. So we weren't able to do some bits that we had hoped we would. And then the window became different for us then towards the end. We were trying to find players that we felt could still help. But I realised then that I would maybe have to be more adaptable with the style and what the team were going to be able to do, because the quality that we already have and the group that we already have has shown already that it can do some really good things. And I love the group, all of it. But I just wanted to give it some help and design the structure that I thought would help it. But I did think it needed some help from outside. And obviously it didn't quite go how we'd planned for it to go. So then it falls on me, obviously, to make sure that we're still able to compete. We're still able to, Andre's a good player. And although we are strong in that area of the pitch, I still felt it was important to add good players to the group. So he does that for us. And then we find a way to make sure that we get our best players in their best positions, and we utilise, similar to what we did last season. We were very adaptable last season in what we did. And it will need to look more like that probably than we had first planned.
In terms of any potential further help, do you expect any more incomings by the end of the day, even if that could be a loan or two?
The guys are working hard, and they will do right up until the close. So we're not done. We've not sort of turned the lights off and shut the door. We're still working very hard upstairs to do anything that might become available to us. And yeah, there are potentially a couple of outs as well, maybe loans and things. So I'm sure there'll still be a thing or two going on from the club, yeah.
And just on the outs, if you don't mind, of course, bringing Sam Johnston in, Jose Sarr's future immediately comes under question a little bit. Do you expect him to be hurt by the end of the window, do you think?
Yeah, I would expect so. Only a day left. He knows the situation. He knows that in every position on the pitch, you need to fight to earn the starting place. And yeah, it's better that we have an extra good goalie than maybe than not. So Sam joins and Jose, Sam, Dan, and Kingy will all train as hard as they can, I'm sure, to impress and show us which one should play in goal.
And just finally, before you go, Daniel Vidance, he continues to be linked to the move to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Similar question, I suppose. Do you expect him to be ahead by the end of the deadline, or I guess the Saudi deadline for that one?
Yeah, no, I think Daniel's getting close to leaving. We worked very hard with him. Obviously, he's had some good periods here, some periods where he was unhappy and he went away on loan. He came back this pre-season and got on really well with him. He worked his socks off, bought into everything that we asked him to do. But he has had an excellent offer for him and his family. So discussions have been sort of ongoing really around what's best for him. And of course for the football club, but that one is looking like there may be something completed. Obviously, it has a little bit longer to go through with it being Saudi, but yeah, that looks like that could potentially go through. Okay.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Can I just go through injuries ahead of this weekend?
Yeah.
Particularly Bouba Traore, we believe, was injured.
Yeah, Bouba will be out. He's going to be out for a little while. I think will potentially need some surgery on his knee. The extent of which we're not 100% sure, but it will be a few months, I would think. So disappointing because he's great guy. Love what he brings to the group, so he'll be really missed. We hope he hopefully once we get all of the reports and things back, it's the best it can be, and the time frame is as short as possible. But yeah, at the moment, obviously not available for the weekend and will be out for a little while.
Just to clarify something you said to Dan, is it fair to say that Wolves won't be playing the type of football that you hoped of at the start of this season because the window hasn't gone quite so well as you'd hoped?
No. That's I didn't mean it that way. It just means, yeah, I've started to look as the window has gone on around whether what I'm asking is going to suit what we're going to end up with in the building. So, my job is to get the best out of the group. That's the job of a head coach, is to get the best out of the ones that are in the building. So, we maybe put some things in place for who we felt might be here, and it might look a little bit different to that. So, of course, international break, close of the window, gives me a good opportunity to look at exactly where we are and exactly what we have, and sort of like I did when I first walked in the building with only a few days to go before the first game. Need to have a look at the group and what we think it can and can't do and what best suits it, because there's a lot of talent in there, but pointless me trying to shoehorn people into jobs that doesn't suit them. So yeah, maybe just a little bit of an assessment and a rethink off the back of the window closing and the international break approaching.
Off the back of the two opening games, you're pretty annoyed, crestfallen, if you like, after the Chelsea game, but the amount of goals that you've shipped so far, what have you done differently and defensively to prevent that happening again?
No, nothing. We've spoken to the players about the mistakes that were made in the Chelsea game. Crazy mistakes. So, yeah, and of course we suffer a 6-2 loss, but without those sort of uncharacteristic errors from us, the game was never 6-2. I think anyone that watched the game, of course, it gets away from us from the end, and Chelsea punish us with huge quality, but statistics and things around the game show that there was not as much in it as the scoreline would suggest. We played Arsenal and Chelsea, and 3 of those halves we've been very, very competitive in against 2 of the best sides in the league. I'm sure Chelsea will be a lot higher up this year than they were last year with what they've managed to do. And we're a resilient group, and we need to be a resilient group. We went through some tough spells last season. We have probably one of the toughest starts to a Premier League campaign ever with the fixture list we've been given. So we have to understand that there will be some tough spells in this. Do we accept conceding 4 goals in a half of football at home? No, we don't. And of course, we discuss how and why that managed to happen to us. But we approach Nottingham Forest knowing that we have a big game ahead of us, and we start at 0-0. So whatever happened in the last one is done and gone.
Is this the ideal type of game to put it right?
They're a good side. I think they sort of sum up how I see the Premier League this year. I think if you look at the amount of players they've been able to recruit over the last 2 years and the group that they've now assembled, and I would guess the expectation around Nottingham is for the group to be finishing high up the league, because they've done some fantastic business, have great players, and of course we need to find our own way of going there and being competitive and being able to compete with these sides. But I think the transfer window and the business that clubs have done in this window in particular has shown that this Premier League season is going to be unbelievably tough and unbelievably competitive. So an opportunity for us, of course, to go away from home and show what we're made of and put a first win on the board, but still a tough game.
For the last couple of seasons, whether it be down to Morgan Gibbs-White, now Nuno's there, whether it was your backroom PR teams sending messages on Twitter or whatever, it's been a grudge match. Are you expecting a feisty affair again?
I think every time I've been to Nottingham Forest, even with clubs that I played for, it always felt quite feisty. So of course there has been an extra little bit there between these 2 clubs, but I would expect it to feel like a big game. Yeah, I would. I think for us, obviously off the back of the two losses, a great win and performance in the cup in the week as well by the lads, but off the back of 2 losses in the league, Nottingham Forest probably wanting to get their first home win. I would expect it to feel like a big game inside the stadium. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Gary.
Hi.
Hi, mate. So you said earlier that the window has not gone how you were told it would. So do you feel let down?
No. I think there are lots of things that, as I've always said, there are a lot of parts that move in a transfer window. So not all of the things that haven't fallen for us have been down to us. There's been a lot of things that go on, and it's just where we are at this moment. We're now reacting to that and trying to put the best things in place to get us where we need to be.
12 months ago, we were told that the budget restrictions were down to PSR and staying on the right side of the line. Is that still the case?
No, we're fine. PSR, I'm led to believe we have no issues. So no, we're fine from a sanction point of view, points deductions, no issue whatsoever. So no, PSR wise, we're fine. Clubs fine financially.
So it's a bit difficult to understand why you haven't been given the funds you thought you were going to get if the club's on the right side of PSR.
Yeah, no, we're doing the best we can with what we're allowed to do and what we're trying to get into the football club. And as I say, we have a great group that I love working with. So no, we'll push everybody to try and finish as high up the league as possible.
Finally, from the end, talked a little bit about Nottingham Forest. What are you expecting from them? How do they approach the game tomorrow?
Yeah, very compact. Don't really come out of shape to press. Make the spaces really, really small. Will be a tough challenge for us with the ball. And just loads of threat on counter-attack, loads and loads. So need to be really well organised. Need to make sure that when we lose the ball, it's in good areas. Don't lose it in bad areas. Make sure that the structure is better than it was at home to Chelsea when we lost possession in a couple of instances and people were out of position. Important that those sort of things are taken care of. And then we need to be ready to stand up and be counted, because I'm sure they'll look to come at us at home and test what we're made of. So as always with Premier League games, every little facet of the team and what we are will be tested. And I'm confident and yeah, like have real faith and belief in the lads that they're ready for what tomorrow takes.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Question, Sam?
Yeah, Gareth, after the Chelsea match, you said that you didn't want to speak about the positives because of the 6-2 home loss.
Yes.
Having had time to reflect, have you got it?
I'm surprised that one's come back up. Yeah, we played okay in moments. We looked a real goal threat. The goals that we concede are from errors that I don't expect to see from us very often. So, yeah, you obviously you can't take things for granted, but I wouldn't expect to see that from us often, those sort of errors. So, and as I say, not often that you have a real good part in a game and end up losing 6-2. So it wasn't like we were completely out of it and never had a look. It was we were right in it for decent spells, and then it ended up getting away from us. So lots of big negatives that needed urgent attention and figuring out. But if you take the emotion and the feeling of losing 6-2 at home and away from it, there were some good bits in there from the lads.
And what were those big negatives?
Yeah, just how easily the game got away from us, and how we were able to make such poor decisions in certain situations once it did, and weren't able to sort of stem that and get ourselves a foothold. And to go from 2-2 and to be out of the game within sort of 15 minutes was obviously a killer blow. So for that to sort of snowball in the way it did, needed speaking about with the players. And we all have a decent understanding as to why it happened and how we can be better.
Another one on the transfer window, finally from me. At this moment in time, including all incomings, outgoings, do you think you're better off now than you was at the start, or the other way around?
We have more depth, but we've lost two top players that we know can perform in the Premier League week in, week out. So in obviously Max, who's playing at West Ham, and Pedro Neto, who's can be one of the best wingers in world football. So more depth, but we obviously lost two real big ones.
Great, cameras up please. Guys, Liam.